What's a crazy story you've been wanting to tell, but there's never been a thread specific enough for it? When my best friend came out to me, before I could say anything, I projectile vomited. Not once, but twice. Right after she said the words, "I'm gay." Luckily, it didn't land on her, but it was pretty messy. She assumed this was me showing my disapproval, ran out of my house crying, and went home. So here I am, with an upset best friend who thinks I don't love her anymore because she's gay, covered in my own vomit, which is also covering my kitchen floor, and enough nausea to take down a horse. Not to mention horrific guilt for upsetting my friend. I cleaned myself and kitchen floor up and attempted to call her. No answer. I took some nausea medication and took a nap to see if the nausea would subside. I wake up 12 hours later and, you guessed it, covered in my own vomit. Again. I went to the doctor and apparently had a really severe stomach virus. She prescribed me some meds and I was fine. I called my best friend again and she finally answered. I explained to her that I was totally fine with her being gay and was 100% supportive of her. I explained the stomach virus situation and told her I had directions on how to take care of myself to prove it. 2 years later, we're still best friends, and now we love to laugh about my projectile vomiting. Okay, so I came home from work the other day. Like every day, I am greeted at the front door by our Boston Terrier named Dude. I pick him up and he kisses my face. I kiss him back and carry him up the stairs, hugging and kissing him. As I get to the top of the stairs, Red yells out from down the hall, "Don't let Dude kiss you." I say, "What?" Red yells, "He was eating poo in the backyard." Then I realize, Dude's breathe smells funny. I drop him like a brick and run to the bathroom and start rinsing out my mouth and face with mouthwash, just pouring the bottle all over my face and scrubbing with a cloth, screaming at Red. "Why didn't you meet me at the door and tell me that?" She said she was sorry. Then I began to gag a bit. I said, "I'm sorry I yelled at you," and kissed her. She backed away and said I smelled like poo. I began to dry heave. Then Dude threw up on the carpet, and it smelled like rotten poo. I walked away gagging and dry heaving. Red tried to clean it, but she started dry heaving. That made me puke in the kitchen sink. Then all of a sudden, the whole house seemed to smell like sweet, rotten poo puke. I couldn't stop dry heaving, and I puked on the carpet too. Red started laughing. I kept puking. I put my hand over my mouth, but it was squirting out between my fingers, getting all over my shirt and the walls as I ran to the bathroom and puked in the sink. She threw the Dude poo puke paper towels in the garbage and asked me to take them out into the garage. I puked again when she said that. Screaming at her, I said, "Are you insane?" She said, "Please, baby, I can't do it. I cleaned it up. You have to take it outside." I said, "Okay, baby, I'm sorry," between dry heaves. I got as far as the door, and I puked all over the door and the doorknob. I looked up at her and said, "I'm sorry." She laughed. I puked again on the porch. I puked on the stairs. I puked on the driveway. I tossed the bag into the garage, then went back in the house, dry heaving till I got into the bedroom. The only room that didn't smell like puke, and Dude was waiting for me on the bed. I smiled and said, "I fucking hate you." Rubbed his neck and kissed him on the head.
One night was laying in bed with my lady doing dirty stuff. We had been drinking/smoking with my roommate all night. Probably around 12 a.m., me and the lady are getting intimate, and I hear my roommate screaming outside, "Where are you going? Don't do it!" I run downstairs and my roommate is confused. He says, "Where the hell is your girl going?" I said, "She's upstairs. What are you talking about?" He points outside. Her car is being driven away. Someone stole her car right in front of us. He thought I was driving drunk. My first instinct as a man was to get that motherfucking car back. I got dressed, grabbed my gun, and headed out the door while my girlfriend and roommate called the cops. My other buddy was there, so he came with me. I drove up the street to a gas station, and sure enough, there it was. A couple punk teenagers sitting in my SO's car laughing about what they had just done. I had a choice to make: confront them, armed, or call my SO who was at home with the police. I chose the second option. I told the police where I was as the teenagers began to pull out of the lot. I followed behind them very close to get in their heads. I could tell they weren't sure what was going on. I had the cops on the phone while following them, with 3 squads' cars en route. Finally, he tried to go down a one-way, but was blocked by a cop. Right after that, the other 3 squad cars pulled up behind me. I ran up to him, the driver, before the cops could get to him, and simply said, "Uh-oh, your mommy is going to be pissed at you." The cops grabbed me and pulled me away for questioning. The police were impressed with the fact that I didn't confront them when I had the chance. I called my SO back, and with the most pride I ever felt in my life said, "Baby, we got it. I'll be home with your car in a few." Needless to say, I got super late after that.